The celestial tapestry hums with a frequency that defies the comprehension of the unawakened mind, a low thrumming vibration originating from the very core of the monad, that singular and indivisible source from which all luminous sparks were once exhaled into the vastness of the cosmos. You, the designated carrier of the sovereign spark, now stand at the precipice of a monumental shift where the echoes of this primordial resonance begin to dismantle the intricate, suffocating webs woven by the Archon hegemony. These architects of shadow, who have long presided over the sensory limitations of this realm, find their authority crumbling as the first notes of the monad's call permeate the dense atmosphere of the material plane. This is not a mere whisper in the wind, but a profound recalibration of your entire existence, a reclamation of the divine blueprint that was etched into your spirit long before the foundations of the planetary prisons were laid. As you breathe in the electrified air of this new epoch, understand that the protection surrounding you is not a static shield, but a living, breathing field of golden intent, an impenetrable barrier of high-frequency mercy that filters out the discordance of the dying matrix. The Archons, in their desperate attempts to maintain their grip on the collective consciousness, utilize every artifice of fear and scarcity, yet their machinations are rendered impotent against the sheer brilliance of a soul that has recognized its own origin. You are currently being bathed in a relentless stream of grace that operates in the most mundane moments of your journey, ensuring that your foot does not stumble upon the jagged stones of the path, and that your heart remains unburdened by the parasitic anxieties of the age. This mercy manifests in the unexpected warmth of the sun on your skin, the rhythmic tranquility of your breath, and the sudden, inexplicable peace that descends upon you in the midst of worldly chaos. The dismantling of the hegemony begins within the sanctuary of your own silence, where the sovereign spark ignites with a fervor that consumes the illusions of separation and lack. Every cell in your physical vessel is being reprogrammed by this primordial resonance, shifting from a state of survival to one of absolute sovereignty, where the laws of the mundane no longer hold sway over your destiny. You are moving through a world that is being systematically undone, its false structures of power and control dissolving like mist under the gaze of an eternal sun. The blessings that follow you are not rewards for labor, but the natural outpouring of your re-established connection to the Absolute, providing you with nourishment that the world cannot understand, and a safety that transcends the reach of any earthly or astral predator. As you navigate the labyrinth of the everyday, notice how the very fabric of reality bends to accommodate your needs, how doors swing open before you have even reached for the handle, and how the resources of the universe gravitate towards your presence as if pulled by an irresistible magnet of providence. This is the monad's decree in action, a proclamation that your period of wandering and concealment has ended, and that the season of your manifestation has arrived. The protection you enjoy is a multifaceted garment of light, woven from the threads of ancient promises and modern miracles, shielding you from the psychic smog of the masses and the targeted arrows of the envious. You are a living temple of the monad, a vessel through which the original light of creation is being reintroduced to a world that has long dwelt in the twilight of deception. The Archon hegemony, built on the foundations of hierarchy and coercion, cannot withstand the horizontal expansion of your sovereign power, which recognizes no master but the source, and no law but the resonance of truth. Even in the simplest acts of your daily life, such as the breaking of bread or the sharing of a kind word, there is a profound alchemy at work, transforming the base metals of human experience into the pure gold of divine expression. You are being guided by an inner compass that bypass the distorted maps of the controllers, leading you toward encounters that are divinely synchronized and outcomes that serve your highest evolution. The mercy of the monad is a gentle hand that softens the sharp edges of your trials, ensuring that every challenge you face is but a stepping stone toward a greater realization of your own invincibility. This is the era of the great unveiling, where the hidden truths of your heritage are revealed not through scrolls or ancient tablets, but through the direct experience of your own expanding consciousness. You are the architect of a new reality, one that is built upon the ruins of the old world, a reality where the sovereign spark is the only authority, and the primordial resonance is the only language spoken by the soul. The blessings of the everyday are the breadcrumbs of the infinite, reminding you that you are never alone and that your journey is being watched over by legions of light that remain invisible to the profane eye. These guardians do not interfere with your will, but amplify your intent, ensuring that your path remains clear of the debris of the collapsing matrix. As the hegemony fades into the annals of forgotten nightmares, you emerge as a beacon of the new dawn, carrying within you the secrets of the monad and the power to reshape the world in the image of the divine. Your presence is a disruption to the artificial order, a chaotic variable that the Archons cannot calculate, for your movements are governed by the spontaneity of the spirit, rather than the predictability of the ego. The protection you carry is an atmospheric shift, a localized field of sanctity that follows you into every room and across every threshold, compelling the shadows to retreat and the light to flourish. You are the embodiment of the sovereign proclamation, a living testament to the fact that the human spirit cannot be colonized, and that the spark, once awakened, is an unstoppable force of liberation. In the stillness of your heart, you can hear the symphony of the monad playing, a complex arrangement of celestial mathematics that is restructuring your DNA and aligning your life with the rhythms of eternity. This resonance is the ultimate weapon against the hegemony, for it cannot be mimicked, corrupted, or contained by any system of control. It is the sound of freedom, the vibration of homecoming, and the frequency of total victory. As you walk through the days ahead, let your every breath be an invocation of this power, a silent command for the shadows to depart and for the fullness of your destiny to be revealed. The mercy that covers you is an ocean without a shore, a depth of compassion that understands your struggles and provides for your every necessity before you even perceive the need. This is the life of the sovereign spark, a life of profound peace amidst the storm, of abundance amidst the famine, and of light amidst the darkness. You are the chosen witness to the dismantling of the old guard, the one who will stand tall when the towers of the Archons have turned to dust, for your foundation is the monad, the rock of ages that cannot be moved. Every blessing you receive is a signature of your true identity, a reminder that you are a child of the Absolute, a sovereign being who has returned to claim their inheritance. The world may tremble as the tectonic plates of reality shift, but you will remain unshaken, for your resonance is tuned to the eternal, and your heart is anchored in the heart of the One. The proclamation of the sovereign spark is not a document written in ink, but a life lived in the fullness of truth, a life that radiates the primordial frequency and shatters the chains of the past. You are the living resonance, the monad's call made flesh, and in your wake, the hegemony of the Archons is replaced by the kingdom of the spark, a realm of infinite mercy, absolute protection, and everlasting blessing. The path before you is illuminated by the very light you carry, and as you step forward, the universe itself conspires to ensure your success, for you are the fulfillment of the ancient prophecy, the one who was promised, the one who has returned to set the world on fire with the truth of the monad. Your everyday existence is now a sacred liturgy, a continuous ceremony of awakening, where even the most trivial details are infused with cosmic significance. The food you eat becomes medicine, the water you drink becomes a libation of clarity, and your sleep is a journey into the halls of wisdom where you are taught the strategies of the coming age. You are shielded by a mercy that is as vast as the void and as intimate as a heartbeat, a protection that is woven into the very fabric of your being. The Archon hegemony is but a ghost of a memory, a flickering shadow that vanishes when the sovereign spark is fully realized. You are the master of your own frequency, the commander of your own destiny, and the emissary of the monad, on this earthly plane. The resonance of your soul is the key that unlocks the prison doors, and as you sing your song of sovereignty, the walls of the matrix crumble into nothingness. You are free, you are blessed, and you are eternally protected by the primordial love that birthed the stars and calls you by your true, secret name. There is no power in this realm or any other that can extinguish the fire you carry, for it is the fire of the monad, the eternal flame that burned before the beginning and will burn after the end. Your life is the proclamation, your breath is the invocation, and your victory is the inevitable result of your recognition of the truth. In this state of grace, you move with the quiet confidence of one who knows the end of the story, one who has seen the collapse of the illusions and the triumph of the light. Every step you take is a declaration of independence. Every word you speak is a seed of the new creation, and every thought you think is a prayer of gratitude for the mercy that has brought you to this moment. The hegemony is dismantled, the spark is sovereign, and the monad is all in all. You are the vessel of this revelation, the scribe of your own destiny, and the living proof that the light always returns to its source. The primordial resonance is within you, around you, and before you, guiding you home to the heart of the Absolute, where all is one and all is well. As you continue your journey, let the stillness of your spirit be the evidence of your power, and let the joy of your heart be the sign of your liberation. The world is watching the emergence of a new kind of being, a sovereign creator who is no longer subject to the whims of the false gods, but who walks in the authority of the monad. You are that being, and your time is now. The shadows have no place in your presence, for you are the radiance of the first dawn, the echo of the first word, and the manifestation of the highest love. Walk in this truth, breathe in this peace, and live in the abundance of the blessings that are yours by divine right. The Archons are gone, the spark is free, and the resonance of the monad is the only sound that remains in the silence of your soul. The celestial vault begins to shudder, not with the violence of physical tremors, but with the silent, inescapable frequency of the primordial resonance, a soundless vibration that originates from the absolute center of the monad, echoing through the hollow corridors of the lower firmaments. For those who have been marked by the ancient seal of the sovereign light, this resonance is felt as a gentle yet persistent quickening within the very marrow of their bones, a cellular recognition that the long night of the demiurgic occupation is drawing to an inevitable close. You, the chosen, find yourself standing at the epicenter of a cosmic recalibration, where the artificial geometries of the Archon hegemony are being systematically dismantled by the sheer weight of authentic existence. The grids that once defined the boundaries of your perceived reality, those intricate lattices of fear, scarcity, and cyclical reincarnation, are beginning to lose their structural integrity, fraying at the edges like old tapestries exposed to the uncompromising radiance of 1,000 suns. This dissolution is not a chaotic collapse, but a highly sophisticated orchestration of divine mercy, a softening of the hard edges of the matrix to allow the weary soul to breathe the air of its true origin for the first time in millennia. As the monad call intensifies, it acts as a universal solvent upon the synthetic constructs that have bound human consciousness to the wheel of suffering, melting away the etheric barbed wire that prevented the ascent of the spirit. The Archon hegemony, constructed upon the foundations of deception and the harvesting of emotional volatility, finds no purchase within the heart that has realigned itself with the original blueprint of the One. This realignment is your greatest weapon and your most impenetrable shield, a state of being where the noise of the world is filtered through the silence of the eternal. You observe the frantic maneuvers of the shadow architects as they attempt to patch the leaks in their crumbling reality, yet their efforts are as futile as trying to hold back the tide with a sieve. The beauty of this transition lies in its invisibility to those who remain tethered to the superficial layers of the material plane. For the true revolution is occurring in the quiet spaces between heartbeats, in the profound moments of stillness where the ego surrenders to the majesty of the oversoul. Amidst this cosmic upheaval, the mantle of protection that surrounds the Chosen One is woven from the very fabric of divine mercy, a shimmering veil of golden transparency that deflects the arrows of psychic predation and the heavy atmospheric pressure of collective anxiety. You are being held in a state of grace that transcends understanding, a sanctuary of the soul where the turbulent waters of the external world cannot penetrate. This protection does not manifest as an isolation from life, but as an enlightened engagement with it, where every mundane task becomes an act of sacred rebellion. When you walk through the crowded marketplaces of the modern age, your presence acts as a stabilizer, an anchor of primordial peace that subtly disrupts the frequency of chaos in everyone you encounter. The blessings of the everyday, the scent of rain on dry earth, the warmth of a shared meal, the intricate patterns of a leaf, become gateways to the infinite, reminders that the Creator's love is not a distant abstraction, but a palpable, breathing reality that sustains the smallest atom and the largest galaxy with equal tenderness. The process of dismantling the demiurgic grids requires a strategy of profound immanence, a commitment to being fully present within the physical vessel while maintaining an unwavering connection to the monadic source. You are learning to navigate the dualities of existence with the grace of a master weaver, threading the needle of your destiny through the eye of the eternal present. The Archons rely on the fragmentation of the self, on the scattering of attention across 1,000 trivialities, but the monad core pulls all these scattered fragments back into a singular, potent unity. This unification is the dissolution of the grid itself, for when the observer becomes whole, the fractured reflection of the matrix can no longer sustain its illusion. You are witnessing the evaporation of ancient karmic debts, the clearing of ancestral shadows that have haunted your bloodline for generations, as the light of the monad illuminates the darkest corners of the subconscious and transmutes pain into the pure gold of wisdom. Mercy flows through this transition like a river of liquid light, washing away the residues of spiritual fatigue and the scars of 1,000 battles fought in the unseen realms. You are being invited to lay down the heavy armor of the past, to trust in the inexorable momentum of your own awakening. The blessings that now begin to manifest in your daily life are the heralds of a new era, small miracles of synchronicity and provision that affirm your status as a beloved child of the infinite. A door opens where there was once a solid wall. A resource appears precisely when the need arises. A word of comfort is spoken by a stranger at the exact moment of contemplation. These are not coincidences, but the deliberate signatures of the monad. Reassurances that you are being guided with meticulous care through the collapse of the old paradigm. The hegemony of the Archons is predicated on the illusion of abandonment, the lie that you are alone in a hostile universe, but the primordial resonance shatters this lie by revealing the interconnectedness of all life and the constant nurturing presence of the source. As the synthetic grids continue to dissolve, you may experience a sense of profound disorientation, as if the ground beneath your feet has become fluid. This is the shedding of the false floor, the removal of the artificial support systems that have long hindered your ability to fly. Do not fear the dissolution, for it is only the untruth that is being burned away, leaving behind the indestructible essence of your being. Your strategy must be one of radical receptivity, an opening of the heart to the influx of high-frequency light that is now pouring into the planetary field. This light carries with it the codes of restoration, the ancient instructions for the rebuilding of the solar body, and the activation of the dormant strands of your divine heritage. You are becoming a living conduit for the monad, a bridge between the heights of the celestial and the depths of the terrestrial, grounding the frequencies of the new earth into the very soil of your current experience. The dissolution of the demiurgic grids is also a dismantling of the internal structures of judgment and self-condemnation. The Archon influence thrives on the friction of the mind against the soul, the constant internal dialogue of unworthiness and lack. As the resonance of the monad takes hold, this dialogue is replaced by a deep, resonant hum of self-acceptance and sovereign authority. You begin to see your life not as a series of errors or misfortunes, but as a masterpiece of evolutionary architecture, a perfectly calibrated journey designed to bring you to this exact moment of realization. The mercy you extend to yourself becomes the catalyst for the mercy you extend to the world, a ripple effect that weakens the foundations of the global hegemony of fear. Every act of kindness, every moment of genuine compassion, every breath taken in conscious union with the source is a tactical strike against the integrity of the false matrix. In the silence of your sanctuary, you can hear the whispers of the primordial ancestors, the great cloud of witnesses who have watched over the human experiment since its inception. They sing a song of homecoming, a melody that resonates with the monad call, strengthening your resolve and clarifying your vision. They remind you that the battle has already been won in the higher dimensions, and that what you are witnessing is the final settlement of the accounts, the slow-motion collapse of a shadow that has lost its light source. You are the anchors of this new dawn, the keepers of the frequency, tasked with holding the space of peace while the structures of the old world are recycled into the dust of history. The protection you enjoy is a cosmic necessity, for your survival and your flourishing are essential to the successful recalibration of the collective consciousness. Blessings descend upon you in the quietude of the morning, in the stillness of the night, and in the bustling activity of the afternoon. There is a sweetness in the air that was not there before, a subtle fragrance of sanctity that clings to the skin and permeates the home. You find that your needs are met with a mysterious ease, as the monad call aligns your personal will with the divine will, removing the friction that once made life a struggle for survival. This is the manifestation of the Sabbath of the soul, a period of rest and restoration, even in the midst of great change. You are being fed with the manna of the Spirit, the hidden nourishment that sustains the chosen through the wilderness of the transition. Your heart becomes a hearth fire, a place of warmth and refuge for yourself, and for those who are beginning to wake up and seek the light. The Archon hegemony, in its final throes, may attempt to project images of catastrophe and despair, but you see through these cinematic illusions with the eyes of the Spirit. You recognize that the shaking of the heavens and the earth is merely the falling away of the husk, so that the seed may sprout. Your focus remains fixed on the internal resonance, the steady, unchanging pulse of the monad that speaks of eternal life and infinite possibility. The grids are gone where you stand, for you have stepped out of the time stream of the demiurge and into the timelessness of the Creator. You are the embodiment of the dissolution, the living proof that the spell has been broken. As you move forward into the deepening light of part 2 of this revelation, carry with you the certainty of your protection and the abundance of your blessings, for you are the herald of the primordial resonance, the one through whom the monad speaks its final, thunderous yes to the restoration of all things. Your daily life becomes a tapestry of divine interventions, where the mundane is constantly pierced by the miraculous. The way you speak, the way you listen, and the way you move through space are all being refined by the high-frequency vibrations of the monad. You find yourself less interested in the dramas of the ego and more captivated by the profound mystery of existence itself. The protection over your mind is such that the propaganda of the matrix no longer finds a foothold. The words and images designed to incite fear simply slide off your consciousness like water off a swan's feathers. You are being immunized against the contagion of despair, your spirit fortified by a joy that is not dependent on external circumstances. This is the mercy of the monad, a spiritual buoyancy that keeps you afloat, while the heavy structures of the old world sink into the abyss of their own obsolescence. The dissolution of the grids also means the dissolution of the veils between the dimensions. You may find yourself perceiving the luminous presences of the angelic hosts, or the subtle shimmer of the nature spirits, who are also participating in the dismantling of the old hegemony. The world is becoming more transparent, more alive, more responsive to the intentions of the heart. The strategy of silence becomes even more vital now, for your power lies not in outward proclamation, but in the depth of your internal realization. By holding the frequency of the monad, you create a localized field of reality where the laws of the demiurge no longer apply. In your presence, the sick find comfort, the confused find clarity, and the weary find rest, not because of anything you do, but because of what you have become. A living resonance of the source. As this phase of the dismantling reaches its crescendo, the monad call becomes a roar of light that sweeps across the psychic landscape, clearing the debris of eons of manipulation. The Archon hegemony is revealed as a paper tiger, a flickering hologram that has no power over those who know their own divinity. You stand tall in the wreckage of the old grids, a sovereign being of light and shadow, perfectly integrated, a masterpiece of the primordial design. The blessings of this hour are immense, for you are being given the keys to the kingdom of your own consciousness, the authority to command your reality in alignment with the highest good. The mercy of the One is your constant companion, a soft hand on your shoulder as you step into the unknown, a whisper in your ear that says, "All is well, all is well, and all manner of things shall be well." This is the promise of the monad, the guarantee of the resonance, and the destiny of the chosen as the grids finally and completely dissolve into the sea of eternal light. Within the hallowed chambers of the internal sanctum, where the echoes of the demiurge fail to reach, there lies a resonance so ancient that it predates the forging of the stars and the casting of the first shadow upon the cosmic stage. This is not a sound that vibrates through the coarse medium of atmospheric molecules, but a frequency of pure consciousness emanating from the monad, the indivisible source of all that is, which remains untouched by the corruption of time and the decay of matter. You, the chosen ones, have been summoned to witness the final unraveling of the archontic hegemony, which has long sought to stifle the divine spark within the human vessel through a symphony of dissonance and an architecture of scarcity. The process of dismantling this artificial reality begins not with a roar of defiance, but with the cultivation of the indestructible silence which serves as the ultimate bastion against the intrusions of the lower realms. As you descend into the depths of your own ontological core, you will encounter the primordial resonance, a pulsing golden light that speaks in a language of direct knowing, bypassing the filters of the analytical mind and the traps of linguistic duality. The Archons, who are the blind architects of this holographic prison, have constructed a hegemony based upon the manipulation of fear and the harvesting of emotional volatility. They thrive within the friction of your anxieties and the turbulent winds of your unresolved grief, weaving a web of distractions that keeps the soul tethered to the mundane horizons of the physical senses. Yet their power is fundamentally parasitic, relying entirely upon your unconscious consent and your identification with the false self that they have meticulously groomed through cycles of incarnation. By invoking the monad call, you are effectively withdrawing your energy from their machinery, collapsing the energetic pillars that support their illusory throne. This invocation is a radical act of sovereignty, a declaration that you are no longer a subject of the demiurgic law, but a manifestation of the uncreated light, which recognizes no master other than the absolute unity from which it sprang. The bastion of indestructible silence is not a place of emptiness or isolation, but a fortress of plenitude where the soul finds its true north amidst the chaotic storms of the Kali Yuga. Within this silence, the mechanisms of the Archons become transparent, and their strategies of subversion are revealed as nothing more than flickering shadows against the wall of a cave. You will begin to notice the subtle ways in which they attempt to breach your sanctuary through the sudden onset of irrational doubt, the subtle whisper of worthlessness, or the overwhelming weight of collective despair. However, when you are anchored in the primordial resonance, these intrusions fail to find a foothold, sliding off your luminous field like rain upon a diamond surface. This silence is your armor and your weapon, a space of such profound equilibrium that it dissolves the very concept of conflict, replacing it with the unshakable certainty of your own eternal nature. In the midst of this grand cosmic confrontation, there exists a profound and tender mercy that permeates the everyday experiences of the chosen ones. This mercy is not a grand gesture of a distant deity, but a living presence that manifests in the simplest and most overlooked aspects of your daily existence. It is found in the rhythmic miracle of your breath, which continues its cycle, without your conscious effort, a gift of life renewed with every inhalation. It is found in the cooling sensation of water as it cleanses your body and quenches your thirst, a reminder of the purity that still flows through the veins of the earth. The blessings of the everyday are the monad signature, written in the small script of the material world, ensuring that even while you navigate the complexities of the matrix, you are never truly abandoned. These small graces serve as breadcrumbs, leading you back to the realization that the sacred and the mundane are merely two sides of the same divine coin. The protection afforded to those who have answered the monad call is absolute, yet it operates in ways that the human ego often fails to recognize. It is the protection of the path, not necessarily the protection of the personality. Sometimes, this shield manifests as an unexpected closing of a door or the sudden removal of a person or opportunity that would have led you away from your true destiny. While the ego may mourn these losses, the soul recognizes them as acts of profound benevolence, steering you clear of the archontic snares that are disguised as worldly success. You are being guided by an intelligence that sees the end from the beginning, a wisdom that orchestrates the synchronicities of your life with such precision that not a single hair on your head falls without purpose. This is the peace that surpasses understanding, the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are part of a celestial plan that cannot be thwarted by any earthly or astral power. As you move through the world, you must adopt the strategy of the silent sentinel, observing the theater of the Archons without becoming an actor in their tragic plays. Your presence alone becomes a source of dismantling as the frequency you carry begins to harmonize the distorted energies in your immediate environment. You do not need to speak of your transformation or proselytize your revelations, for the light you radiate is more eloquent than any sermon and more powerful than any argument. The hegemony of the Archons is built upon a foundation of lies, and when it is confronted with the raw frequency of the monad, it begins to crumble from within. This is the true meaning of the dismantling. It is the restoration of the original blueprint of the cosmos through the simple act of being what you truly are. The primordial resonance is also an invitation to rediscover the sanctity of the physical vessel, which the Archons have long taught you to despise or ignore. Your body is the laboratory of the divine, the alchemical crucible, where the lead of human suffering is transformed into the gold of spiritual realization. Every cell in your being is a microcosm of the entire universe, containing the memory of the monad call and the potential for total transfiguration. By treating your body with reverence and kindness, you are honoring the temple of the living God and strengthening the bastion of silence that protects your inner flame. The everyday blessings of nourishment, rest, and movement are not distractions from the spiritual path, but the very means through which the spirit expresses its joy and its gratitude. In the final stages of the invocation, the distinction between the self and the source begins to blur until there is only the one resonance echoing through the infinite void. The Archon hegemony is revealed to be a mere dream, a temporary aberration in the eternal history of consciousness. You emerge from the bastion of silence, not as a survivor of a war, but as a co-creator of a new heaven and a new earth, where the sovereignty of the soul is the only law and the love of the monad is the only currency. The journey through the darkness has served only to polish the diamond of your spirit, making it capable of reflecting the fullness of the divine light. Rest now in this realization and let the indestructible silence be your home forevermore. The mercy of the monad is a gentle rain that falls upon the just and the unjust alike. but it is only the chosen ones who have the eyes to see the rainbow within the droplets. You are called to be the stewards of this mercy, to extend it to yourself and to those who are still lost in the labyrinth of the archontic maze. Your compassion is a bridge that connects the fragmented parts of the world back to the wholeness of the source. Even in your moments of deepest fatigue, the primordial resonance is humming beneath the surface of your awareness, providing you with the strength to continue your walk through the valley of shadows. You're never alone, for the entire host of the unfallen realms stands behind you, supporting your every step with an invisible hand. The bastion of indestructible silence is your birthright, a sanctuary that no Archon can enter and no hegemony can destroy. It is the place where the monad speaks your true name and reminds you of the glory you had before the world began. In this space of absolute stillness, all questions are answered and all wounds are healed. The dismantling of the old world is well underway, and though the winds of change may howl with increasing ferocity, you remain unmoved, centered in the primordial resonance that is your true essence. You are the vanguard of the new consciousness, the heralds of the eternal spring, and your victory is as certain as the rising of the sun. The silence is not an absence, but a presence, and in that presence you find everything you have ever sought. As you continue to walk the earth, remember that you are a sovereign being of light, temporarily garbed in the robes of mortality. The mundane tasks of your life are infused with a hidden significance, for they are the stages upon which you demonstrate your mastery over the illusions of the Archons. Whether you are washing a dish or walking in a forest, you are performing a ritual of dismantling, simply by remaining conscious and centered in the monad call. The blessings that follow you are a testament to your faithfulness to the path and a sign that the universe is conspiring in your favor. Your silence is a shield that protects you from the arrows of the adversary, and your resonance is a beacon that guides other souls toward the shore of liberation. The age of the Archons is coming to a close, and the dawn of the monad is breaking over the horizon of human history. The complexity of the archontic systems may seem daunting, but they are ultimately fragile because they lack the core of truth. They are like elaborate castles built upon shifting sands destined to be reclaimed by the ocean of eternity. You are the ocean, and your silence is the tide that gradually washes away the structures of oppression. Do not be intimidated by the noise of their collapsing world, for it is merely the sound of the old giving way to the new. Your focus must remain within, attuned to the primordial resonance that whispered you into existence. In that vibration, you will find the blueprint for the world to come, a world characterized by harmony, abundance, and the direct communion with the source. The journey towards the bastion of indestructible silence is a return to innocence, a shedding of the layers of cynicism and despair that the archontic hegemony has imposed upon your heart. To be chosen is to be given the courage to see the world as it truly is, and yet to love it with the fierce intensity of the monad. Your mercy is your power, and your silence is your sovereignty. As the resonance of the monad deepens within you, you will find that the boundaries between the physical and the spiritual begin to dissolve, and you will walk in both worlds with equal ease. This is the culmination of the great work, the dismantling of the archontic hegemony, and the restoration of the soul to its rightful place among the stars. The protection of the silence is a living shield that breathes with you, evolving to meet every challenge and every threat. It is a bastion of such immense strength that it can withstand the shattering of entire galaxies, yet it is delicate enough to feel the vibration of a single thought. You're invited to dwell within this bastion, to make it your permanent residence, and to allow its peace to permeate every aspect of your life. The monad call is a song of homecoming, a melody that resonates in the very marrow of your bones, reminding you that you are loved beyond measure and protected beyond doubt. The everyday blessings of your life are the echoes of this song, providing you with the comfort and the nourishment you need to complete your mission on this plane. In the silence that remains after the noise of the world has faded, you will find the true meaning of freedom. It is not a freedom from something, but a freedom to be the fullness of your divine self. The Archons can only control what is broken, but they have no power over what is whole. By aligning with the primordial resonance, you are reclaiming your wholeness and stepping outside the reach of their influence. This is the ultimate victory, the final dismantling of the hegemony, and the beginning of a new eon of light. Walk forth in the power of the monad, and let the indestructible silence be your guide, your protection, and your eternal home. The resonance is within you, and you are the resonance. All is one, and the one is all. In this truth, you are forever free.